top 25, 5 in the top 10. You add 2 more in the top 25 with Virginia Tech 18, Louisville at 20. And then also getting votes is Boston College, and also North Carolina State has also got a couple votes too. So, and Wake Forest, who just got out of the top 25. Now don't be surprised if you see them back in the top 25. Remember, they went 500 and still were a top 25 team last year and got all the way to the Sweet 16. So this is the type of team and the type of conference that it really the record doesn't really show what type of, like, what team they are. So, and just look what Wake Forest has on their schedule is ridiculous, especially when they got Duke and Virginia. With the, I would think that they're upset that they did not get a goal in that first half, as they there have a potent offense. Speaking of potent offense, look at that potent alums that represented the country, USA, in the Women's World Cup.
I feel like I've heard the words Becky Sauerbrunn the last 20 years of my life. She has been an incredible player at Virginia, and then going on to really be the helm of the defense for our women's national team. But boy, Virginia obviously has so many talented players that play with the national team. 11
former players now on the NWSL rosters. Is Jarrett already making some noise? Well played by Bedford. She's been on point. She's just a remarkable player. She was remarkable up top, and she's remarkable in the back there for head coach Tony DeLuz. Betsy Brandon, who was on this team last year for Virginia, she got drafted by Houston. Another top player out of Virginia.
Yeah.
Keep adding on to the talent, though, too. So 14th ranked recruiting class. Chip inside the box. Jarrett somehow was right there. I didn't even see her. And I don't think Youngener saw her either.
Yeah, she was kind of just creeping along on that back post, but good defending by, I think that was Ryan Brown at the back.
Aurier trying
or I'm sorry, Hammond.
A turn. Aurier gets the start for the second half. Battling some nagging injury. She's back on the pitch. 0-0 our score, and a shot, a one hop, and that had some pace on that one. Well done by the graduate student.
Yeah, Courtney Peterson she's coming in. No, there's no pressure on her. So
oof, look, no rotation.
There's a knuckleball. She strikes it so well. Kennedy has to do a good job just concentrating to make sure, you know, the ball didn't get loose from her. But
they've scored at least 2 goals in every match. I mean, they're averaging, 4.38 goals per game, leading the nation in that department. So this is uncharted territory, really, for them.
They're pressing higher against Wake Forest back line. They're making more runs through. And really, you can kind of see the energy of Virginia. They're calling for the ball behind Wake Forest back line, and they're running in an offsides position almost just to really apply pressure.
Trying to find Jarrett on the right side. Virginia again threatening. 60% of the time in the first half they were down on Wake Forest side of the field, and they start the second half the same way. Bedford right on the back pocket of the Serp Cup.
The question is, can Wake Forest, you know, still apply that same defensive pressure they did in the first half? They can't afford to leave anybody open in the box here. We're going to see how Virginia drives this ball in.
Spancher will take it, going nearest post, and a goal kick. Pointed out by the referee. Surprised by that, going near post?
It's not a bad idea. They had a runner going in. I couldn't see whose number it was, but trying to essentially just flick the ball past the near post. So you're drawing a bunch of people close, and then you just flick it on. You're not looking to score there. You're just finding maybe a deep runner at the far post. But you know, Virginia player just couldn't quite get there or get anything on it.
Kennedy can't get it to the midway line. Hammond comes back out with it. Plays into the middle. McNamara, who just got back on the pitch, replaces Laurier. Marco. Torres will play the left side to Spanstra. Spanstra up against Bedford. Bedford had a boot on it, but Spanstra gets it right back, and Spanstra going to try to chip over Megan Kennedy.
Yeah, Bedford did a good job. She's just delaying defensively, just dropping, and then she's reading it, getting a foot in there. But Virginia still so dangerous from 22 yards out, 25 yards out. Wake Forest cannot expect just to defend within the 18.
Wake Forest has allowed 8 goals this season so far, and 7 of those came just last week when they took on, North Carolina and South Florida. South Florida put up 3, and North Carolina put up 4. And that's Wake Forest team. They're starting to look defensively like they looked in those first 6 games before heading down to Chapel Hill, as they're locked in here at 0-0. McLernan started 7 upperclassmen tonight. Had 16 players returning from last year, so a lot of experience and then some depth to add on to it. Arnestadter with a little pressure, and McClendon will go into the middle. Misplay there. Wake Forest had a chance to take the ball away. Torres will move it to the left side. Well played by Ryan Brown. And she plays it off. Virginia player out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. If Ryan Brown can find a way to get open on the flanks, she can be a weapon if Wake Forest can get her there, right? Arnestadter waits for it. Youngener tripped up. That will be a foul call.
McLernan is not afraid to get physical here in this game, but it's a great little move trying to get around her, and, you know, she just got stuck on the ball and ended up fouling. But Wake Forest with a chance here with set piece. They're going to play it short, try to possess. Jared, who's a forward, is coming all the way back to help defend.
Good overlapping run by Hammond. Hammond going up against Jarrett. Kicked out of bounds, but it'll be off of Hammond, and out of bounds it'll be a goal kick.
That's what Wake Forest needs. They need to get their outside backs or flank players overlapping, getting into the attack. It's going to take a lot of combination play to break down Virginia. But Wake Forest, they're in this game. They're playing the #1 team in the country. It's 0-0. They're giving themselves a chance. So it's going to take, again, the same concentration it did in the first half on marking defensively, and then we'll see if they can possess the ball enough to move into Virginia's half.
Into Wake Forest half comes Jarrett. Lost the ball. Foul called on Madison Hammond. And here's a dangerous spot.
Yeah, it's a foul. Jarrett is so fast. She's so fun to watch. Look at her. She's going to blow by the Wake Forest player, and
that was off Sophia Rossi.
Yeah, Rossi just drops in, and it was a little tick-and-tack foul, but contact was there.
2 assists for Jarrett against Georgetown. On her tally this year, she has 3 goals and 3 assists. A sophomore out of Washington Township, New Jersey.
Look at this gap in the Wake Forest defense. If she can slip this ball in that gap right there.
Oh, yeah, you saw it. You called it. And Wake Forest did a good job to get it out of the area. But it's a throw-in.
You know, Wake Forest has been scored on a couple times this year off of set pieces. That's a weakness for them. And Virginia is going to look to definitely expose that as the game goes on.
Arnestadter is surprised, and I have to say I'm a little surprised by that. I thought it was a high boot. But But the call is going to be on Arnestad, maybe for grabbing the jersey. But let's take a look.
A lot of contact from both players, and
You wouldn't say a high boot on that?
I would just say that
Play on.
soccer's not fair.
Okay, sorry.
That's not fair.
That's right.
So I'm going to just blow the whistle and say that.
Played just about 10 minutes here in the second half. 0-0 our score. Here live from Spry Stadium. A flag goes up, an offside call yet. Another offside call on Virginia. The Wake Forest men's soccer team returns to Spry Stadium tomorrow night as Demon Deacons face Syracuse, an important ACC matchup. The game time will be 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ACC Extra, ACC Network Extra. Wake Forest, #1 team, still did go up to JMU and lost 1-0 to a very talented James Madison team. They'll be taking on a Syracuse team that they have not beaten in 2 years. It's tomorrow at 7:30 p.m.
We had a lot of fun calling the men's soccer game a couple weeks ago, Ty.
That was a lot of fun. Against Dartmouth, who had a little Ivy League ACC matchup, little kind of like the Big Ten ACC thing in basketball. They had the Ivy League play some ACC teams that week. Dartmouth got Wake Forest. Here's Virginia. Another opportunity, well done by Snyder and Ryan Brown.
We got a Virginia player down. It looks to be Spanstra, if I can see that far. And if she goes down, that's going to be a big loss for Virginia so far. I've had her on my key players. She's been really dangerous tonight.
Yeah, it is. She looks like she may have gotten stepped on with the way she's walking it off. But the sophomore looks like she's good to go.
Love the sportsmanship there. She's going to bounce back here, and I think they're probably going to drop this ball back to Wake Forest.
Yeah, I'm
Wake
sure
Forest is in possession.
And of course she's going to be dangerous. She's #1 in the nation with assists. With 7 assists so far this season. Spanstra looks okay. She looks about she's going to jog that one off.
Good decision. Mike Kennedy dumped that ball wide. It's a little too much for Wake Forest, but all right, after that foul or the delay in the injury, Wake Forest, again, has to concentrate here, not lose sight of those key players. This is a good chance for a counter here. You got Gio DeMarco trying to play the ball wide.
Hammond comes back, gets it. See if they can orchestrate some kind of attack here as Bedford try to move into the midfield. Ball back to Virginia. Arnestad puts on some press. And here's Spanstra. Off the back of... Sorry, that was G. DeMarco. It's not. It was Billy Schneider. The captain, Hammond, looks to play Ryan Brown cut out. Virginia now with it. Here's Torres. McLernan, the senior, puts it into space. Great defense by Youngener and Vicky Krug.
Yeah, Krug kept the Virginia player her back to the goal and just contained the situation. You know, it could have been worse for Wake Forest there. It was great defending. But we're starting to see Virginia pick up their pace here. I'm seeing overlapping runs, players coming out of the back, multiple players gaining an attack. Wake Forest trying to do the same thing here.
Yeah, Schneider moving, trying to move to hold Arnestad on the right. That's something developing there, but it is fizzled out by Virginia.
Wake Forest trying to get back in that compact defensive shape. They appear to be a little bit more tired than Virginia, trying to decide where they're going to start that defensive line again. Can they sustain the pressure they did in the first half?
Jared Right at the byline, puts one through. Virginia, May with a chance, they might have it. It's taken away by the defense of Wake Forest. Well done by the old gold and black. McNamara runs on. She kind of threw her boot out and tripped up Zoe Morse. But take a look at Virginia's chance. Jarrett's so dangerous. Puts one right in front of the 6 mark.
I hate to be too critical here. I'm not sure what Kennedy was doing trying to come out for that ball. There's no pressure on Jarrett. She's got to stay at home. But again, Wake Forest, they're going to have to try to deny those crosses because, you know, you can see what happens there. Virginia eventually is going to end up on the end of one of those.
Kennedy with 3 saves so far tonight, though. Might have a little miscommunication, but luckily for Wake Forest, nothing going there. 6 shots to 1. Virginia still in commanding lead on that department. Well played by Bedford. This back line is ferocious. They're not scared at all of this #1 Virginia team. They've been just all over the place. Like a pack of, I guess they look more like piranhas, if you'd say, right? Right, that one spot right there immediately wrapped up.
Absolutely.
And double teamed. Vicky Krug and Bedford, and actually Youngin are coming all the way back to play defense.
They know it's going to take every ounce of their energy. Everybody team defending here for Wake Forest has been really good tonight because you cannot let these players loose.
No.
You cannot afford to have a 1v1 situation with Jarrett.
The senior. Gonna lay it in.
Great read by Hammond, cutting that ball off. And McNamara, more of that from her. So many times she's laying the ball off. I'd love to see McNamara get the ball into her feet, hold it, or try to turn and go forward instead of always laying off because it just becomes a little more predictable.
Under 30 minutes to go. The second half, we might have more soccer as we're tied up 0-0. And that, almost made it 1-0. Just got through. What a play. Sumter got in behind the defense. Let's take a look at this. About made this 1-0.
Oh, it's a perfect cross, and oh my goodness, just off the edge of her foot. Couldn't quite get the ball down. But Sumter is going to have a seat and probably think about that shot for the next few minutes. Wanting it back.
That's got to be.
That one hurt.
That is not the right time that you want to be taken out if you're right there and then you have to think about it. As Brooke Smith now comes in for Wake Forest. Snyder goes out. Virginia back into the attacking third. Went behind Jarrett. Spanstra. So easy on the ball right there.
Yeah,
so much
she's
poise.
Such a smooth player. She's fun to watch. Love her energy. She kind of bounces all around the field, trying to find the ball, looking to be that playmaker that she's been all season.
On the left flank. Can they make a cross? Great defense by Ryan Brown. Floater inside the 18, blocked. And a great play by the grad senior from Cornell, Megan Kennedy.
Yeah, what a ball by Virginia here. It's coming across, and again, Sumter can't quite get ahead on that. I'm sorry, I meant to say Spanstra. Spanstra just couldn't get enough behind that ball to knock it down to the corner, but Virginia is getting closer to the back of the net.
They are. They're really, really getting too close for comfort. 8 shots now. Wake Forest only with 1. Flag goes up. Jarrett using that 5th gear speed. And got a little too excited on that one. Got behind the defense before the pass, and it's an offside call.
So, Ty, remember in the first half we talked about Virginia playing that high line, and you said, would you be offended or, you know,
You're right.
upset at that type of tactic? Well, right now, I'm thinking, Wake Forest, you have got to dump the ball in behind Virginia. I haven't yet to see one long ball. So for Virginia, this is easy defending. All the play is happening in front of them. So it's basic. This type of team, they're not going to have trouble defending at this point unless Wake Forest starts to press that back line more. And the pressure comes from hitting longer balls, diagonal runs.
So what if you were coaching, would you say let's get our fastest player and stick them right there at the midway line, and if they creep up, do a send a long ball and go after it?
I think there's a point of where you can't play short balls the whole game.
Right.
You know, a couple of combinations short, great, and then it's got to be that longer ball. You're looking to either get it wide or send it in over the top, and yes, you want a run from one of your faster players that can hopefully get on the end of it and create that pressure.
Head coach Deleuze went with his speed because he put in Ashley Frank. She can bounce around, and she is quick.
Yeah, and again, I mean, with that substitution, we'll see if Wake Forest can just get a ball in behind and get out of their half. At this point, Virginia controlling the play.
Hammond.
Really surprised that wasn't a foul right there, to be honest.
Hammond really frustrated. She's trying to find an outlet. She's trying to find someone to play to, and she just can't see anybody open, so therefore she has to keep the ball at her foot. And when you have suffocating defense like Virginia, there's really not much time.
Yeah, and sure, and you don't always have the luxury of being able to play somebody's feet. So you have to be creative and sometimes play the ball into space. Have some deception.
Remember, on Monday, the All-ACC team will have the latest scores, news and information from around the conference. Nobody covers the ACC like we do. That's 9 p.m. Eastern on the ACC network and the ESPN app. So make that a part of your schedule on Monday. Youngener. A Wofford transfer had a small window to play McNamara and just about got it there. Spanstra. She looks 100% after she got banged up earlier.
Wake Forest has the right idea, but you have to find the seam. You cannot expect to play the ball through the defender. It's got to go up and over or in that gap and play the ball into space. It's not always going to go to feet like we talked about. I think Wake Forest is going to need an earlier, bigger ball. This might be it. But similar to that, it's got to go in behind.
You see Ryan Brown looking to go in the middle. Finally plays DeMarco. McNamara. McNamara couldn't turn. Youngener here to the left side. Sophia Rossi backed away from it, but was a little bit not on the right page. And here comes Jarrett, not who you want to have the ball if you're Wake Forest. Jarrett into the 18. Jarrett puts a shot on. Kick save. Well done by Megan Kennedy. She continues to keep the 0 on the scoreboard for Virginia.
Yeah, what a great individual effort by Jared. She's just so dangerous, Ty. I mean, how much longer can Wake Forest keep her at bay?
Well, Megan Kennedy has been phenomenal tonight. Something about Virginia teams, I guess. She played VCU well. Now she is here against Virginia and putting on a show so far. She has 5 saves. And we got about 23 minutes to go, and maybe even more. Sophia Rossi can't get the ball as it goes past her boot. Spanstra. Does Virginia break through here? Inside the 18, great defense again. Ryan Brown has done another great job again playing defense, moving all the way back there and keeping Virginia from going in the back of the net. Speaking of going from the back of the net, there was Jarrett Spot and Megan Kennedy with a kick save. 5 saves. A corner kick for Virginia.
Nothing like getting a shot on goal, then the save comes back to you. You've got to react quickly.
Here's the corner. And just kicked out. A lot of traffic inside the goalie box. Oh, Jarrett putting on a display there. She had an option.
What a
Virginia's
defensive
defense moves.
play right there. Was that Hannah Bedford? Just full on extension to clear that ball.
Spanstra into space, plays looking for Jarrett. Did have McCool, I believe, right there in the middle. But Jarrett, far stick. Let's take a look. That was Bedford again. Just slide tackle, kicking it out.
So
Well
sweet.
done by Bedford, a junior from Charleston, South Carolina.
What an effort.
Converted striker to defender. Ooh.
And that is the physical side that we saw in the first half.
Well, I mean, let's go, if we could, maybe we go back to that, but McNamara got there first, right? So just let's take a look.
Yeah, it was fun.
No,
Nope, not
that's
fine.
not fine. You're right.
The
I
slow
looked up
motion
there. Slow
really,
motion,
the slow motion really is enlightening.
like,
because-
it's fun, not fun.
And the speed of play, it's interesting.
You're
Speed
right.
play, it's like, wait, you ran into her. No,
That's right.
you ran into her. So there you go.
That was the right call. Completely wrong.
We needed that.
Regular motion. So
We needed a wake-up call, Ty.
that was a hard hit.
I'm loving this game.
It is. It is. I know it's 0-0.
Love the chess
If
match.
If you're a soccer fan, you love this because it's a chess match for sure. Wake Forest holding the #1 team to 0 goals so far. A team that averaged 4.38 goals per game. They go long looking for Jared. There's Madison Hammond, the captain, who's moved to the back for this game. Youngener.
That's the ball. It's very close, but that's the one. It's got to be in behind the defender.
Jared into the middle. And they're allowing her some space. Sophia Rossi.
Well, Youngener's got her work cut out for her on this side. And Hammond playing so well at the back. Wake Forest really taking all this pressure and seeming to stay in the game. And this is what you want. Look at this energy at Wake Forest Bry Stadium tonight, playing the #1 team. They're stepping up to the challenge.
McCool still with it, lost it. Sophia Rossi comes out with it, no call. She trying to maybe see if she could get a penalty called, but no dice. McNamara waits for this to go out of bounds and be a throw-in. Under 20 minutes to go. Yes, we are still scoreless, 0-0. And here's Tangney coming in. That's a pretty good move by Duluth. She can create some opportunities there in the middle. As Rossi also will go out. A lot of substitutions for both squads. The final
Yeah, they're-
20 minutes of regulation.
Yeah, Virginia subbing quite a few players off their front line. Maybe just seeing if they can mix this up and bring a little more energy. They're going to continue to try to put the ball in behind, run at Wake Forest back line. There's 18 minutes left in the game, and it just continues. The possession and who is really going to be able to break down the other team's defense.
Well, if you want some energy, Tangney is who you want to go with. Because she is also kind of like Ashley Frank. She bounces around and she can cause a lot of problems for a defender.
I think I just had that
Plus, you would know-
coaching
right.
feeling of having a heart attack when my goalkeeper is coming out and my defender is running towards
Yeah.
him. And we're not quite sure what we're going to do.
You did gasp. Tangney
I'm fine. It's okay. Ty.
plays it off to Brooke Smith.
It's intense. I'm into it.
Yeah,
You're
are,
into
yeah.
this.
Former player, you know that you're into this.
Yeah.
You think you're back on the pitch
The
again.
game jitters, absolutely. I wish. There's no way I could step on this field.
Just the sight of it makes you tired.
Just, yeah. I am so far removed from this, but I love watching it.
17 minutes to go.
Might get a chance to play in that alumni game tomorrow, though.
Oh, there's alumni
So-
game tomorrow. What time's that?
I'm not telling you.
All right. Guess I'm not invited.
Uh-oh.
We can get some camera guys here. We'll broadcast it.
That's just what we need.
Beacon Vision will be here. A throw-in awarded to Virginia. 10 shots for them so far, and Wake Forest with just only one that they had in the first half. Flag up, another offside call on Virginia. 5 saves for Megan Kennedy. And Laurel Ivory has only had 1 save. Hadn't had much to do. Part of the MAC Trophy watch list. 34, 11, and 5 in her career. She's hoping for win number 35 after tonight. But right now, we are locked at 0-0. Seven offside calls for Virginia. As they're now back into the attacking third. The service over the head. Oh, what a grab by Megan Kennedy. Thought it was going to get through her mitts, but with her fingernail, she was able to catch it and keep it from going to the far stick.
Oh, Hammond is going to pick up this runner from behind, but it's too late. I mean, if that ball goes over Kennedy's head, it's over.
You have Lexau right there, going to make the goal. So well done by Kennedy, the last line of defense.
Crucial play.
Lexau was right there to put it through for goal number 1. And that would have been her second goal of the 2019 season. A freshman.
And again, my heart is jumping out of my chest. Because there's only so many times this can happen for Wake Forest.
Yeah, on a play. A goal kick.
Despite Virginia's efforts tonight, you know, they've got to be disappointed that they're sitting 0-0 right now. And Wake Forest is thanking their lucky stars and hopefully, you know, can stay in this game for another 14 minutes. Giving themselves a chance to maybe pick up a late goal and get out of here with a win.
Sumter in, Spranstra out. McCool, pardon me, that's not McCool. That is Gorzak.
Hannah Bedford, again, her 1v1 defending is so good.
She has the mentality of an attacker, so she knows a little bit of where they're going to go. Back line moves again all the way up close to the midway line.
It's so true what you're saying about Hannah, though. With her attacking ability, she has those instincts and that insight on what these players are going to do. I mean, it's interesting you brought that up because in my years of coaching and playing, I've seen so many players Tony has moved from the front to play at the back because of the skill that they had. That's the ball I love right there. It's just going, you just float it in over the back line, and you got to get everybody up. I think Wake Forest is a little fatigued here at this point. But if they try a few more of those long balls, I think it could end up breaking Virginia down a bit. Wake Forest going to get a nice little call here.
Yeah, that is a nice call. That's what you get when you're a small stature. I know all about that. You know all about that.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes you hit the ground and the referee's
No,
like,
I just mean, what are you saying about my small
Oh,
stature?
no, I mean,
stature?
I'm the same way.
Okay.
Oh.
No, we got to take all we can get, all the calls we can get.
You know, the Huddle is our signature football show here at the ACC Network. It's hosted by Jack Collinsworth with analysts Eric McLean and E.J. Manuel, along with Mark Richt, previewing the weekend's slate of games and keeping you updated on all things ACC football. So check them out Friday, 5:30 Eastern Time, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. The Huddle. Get you up to date with what's going on ACC football. Tangney moving around, trying to connect with Schneider.
Again, Tagney, it's a good idea to slip the ball on the seam. Just hit it harder. It needs to be knocked into space. Wake Forest playing a little too much to feet. It's got to get in behind. Holda is going to get a chance here.
Ooh, wow. Slide tackle by Torres. Not exactly what you want if you're head coach Steve Swanson, because it was inside the box. Vicky Krug moving all the way up past the midway line. I'm sure head coach Deleuze is saying keep going forward with it, as Jungener got it tangled up in her boot. Possession back to Virginia. Played just about 75 minutes of soccer and 0-0 our score.
Clarendon has had a lot of touches on the ball tonight. She's been a very strong player for Virginia.
Spanstrom. Pardon me, that is not Spanstrom, that is Zandy. Zandy almost split the defenders and got inside the 18.
So it was a quick rest for those Virginia forwards, the original starting forwards. Got a quick break, I think around the 18-minute mark, and now they're back in, 10 minutes to go.
Spanstra comes back in for Zandy. And another throw in here on the attacking third for Virginia.
Jarrett got a breather.
Possession still in the favor of Virginia at a 54% possession time to Wake Forest's 46% possession time.
I mean, it's fairly even. It's been a, like we said from the beginning, just both teams, their style of play is clearly to possess the ball.
Jungener, there's that ball you're looking. Plays off to Snyder. Snyder, overlapping run by Ryan Brown. Down the left side. Brown, 1v1, trying to get inside the 18. Puts a nice ball for someone running near stick. Gita Marco was trying to get there. Vicky Krug up against McCool. Whistle blown and a foul called on Madison Hammond, the captain. And she is not happy about that one.
Not pleased with that call.
The right idea, though, for Wake Forest, making their way inside the 18, laying it right there at the 6-yard mark. Just needed another runner on to maybe test Ivory. But nonetheless, that can create some confidence if you're Wake Forest. Looking to break through here, too. 0-0, our score remains here at Winston-Salem. If you're just now joining us, it's exactly what the score says, 0-0, but Virginia has had a lot more opportunities, but Wake Forest defense has showed up tonight. They went with only 3 in the back, and they have played compact. Wouldn't you say, Megan?
I think they've done a good job staying compact, like you said, sticking with the game plan. Talking to Tony earlier, he wanted his team defense to be the key to tonight's win. And so far, I'm going to give them at least a B+, maybe an A+. It's 0-0. So, so they're in the game.
You're holding the #1 team to 0 right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple
That's gotta be
close. Yes, there's been a couple of close mistakes that almost really cost Wake Forest potentially the game, but they managed to squeak it out, and that's what happens when you're at home. You get a lucky bounce or a lucky play, and you find yourself still in it with a chance.
Taney goes out, McNamara back in. And Sophia Rossi replaces Brooke Smith. Sophia Rossi chipping to McNamara. And McNamara did have Ryan Brown on the left side. Now Ryan Brown has to fly back to help with the back line. McCool and Megan Kennedy, so smooth, comes up to meet it and keep McCool from touching the ball and maybe chipping Megan Kennedy, but well played by the goalkeeper.
It's almost as if Virginia needs to let Wake Forest have the ball deeper in their end. Oh,
good idea by Arnestadter, though. You would say, why is she shooting that right there? But if you looked up, Ivory was a little off her line, so
yeah,
sneak attack there.
Why not? Try to let a quick shot, catch Ivory off guard. But what I was saying is if Virginia can pull Wake Forest out, almost like let them have the ball more in their half, Virginia is so dangerous on the counterattack. Wake Forest has to be very cognizant of how many players they're sending forward.
Spanstra, and last line of defense is Hannah Bedford. She plays it over the fence. She has been remarkable tonight.
She's a rock. She's been so awesome back there. So fun to watch.
That's why she's got the captain armband. Here's a shot. Anywhere close to the cage. It'll go far right of the cage.
McCool just couldn't quite connect on that shot. You can see as the ball comes out, she's going to try to just let one rip, but just can't quite connect.
There's Zandy. She's back into the match, just stepped out. So she's back in for Virginia. Had a short breather. Madison Hammond, the captain. Plays McNamara. McNamara lays it off to DeMarco. DeMarco, not much room there. McLaren was right on top of it. Quickly get, yeah, exactly. Megan, I said the same thing, that to quickly get it down the field there. They stopped it right at the midway line and allowed Virginia to get back. Schneider moves over here to the near side. Now she backs up closer to the touchline, and they'll play her. Schneider. Schneider puts one deep into the box. Arnestadter cuts it. Can she put one on? Youngener. She's got some space. Put the ball in the middle. She's got DeMarco. DeMarco loses it. And Virginia comes out with it. A good sequence of events there for Wake Forest trying to get on the board there. Great ball played by Schneider. Youngener had some time to put it into the box. Arnestadter. As Wake Forest worn down this defense, Sophia Rossi cuts. Sophia Rossi goes down. PK awarded to Wake Forest. Oh, wow. The poise of Sophia Rossi.
Absolutely.
1v1, and she makes a turn.
Look at this. So, and it all starts from that ball from Hulda. It's the perfect ball through that seam. And Rossi, though, has gone down pretty hard here.
She stopped on a dime there, so it was her, a defender, and the goalkeeper. Arnestadter played her perfectly. Watch her turn, leaves Torres, and Torres just got.
Yeah, Torres got her.
Her ankle.
She got her. She got her on that left ankle right here. You're gonna see it. Boom, clip, and boy, that hurts. It hurts watching that.
Yep.
Mrs. Hammond gonna step up.
That's what I was just about to say.
Wake
the
Forest,
captain.
yeah, they're 1 for 2 this year on PKs. So I don't know that Hammond has taken one this season.
She did. She hit one against Charlotte. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I love it.
She scored against Charlotte, and here she is, scored 0-0 up against a MAC Trophy watch list goalkeeper, Ivory. The captain lines it up. And she executes! Wake Forest goes on top 1-0.
Oh my gosh, and look at this Wake Forest crowd. It's homecoming weekend. They hit the wall, and this place is rocking right now, Ty. Oh, look at the energy. Hammond just bangs that ball home. and under so much pressure. And, oh, you can just feel the goosebumps. Perfectly places it. Are you kidding me? Look at that placement, Ty.
Look at the blistering ball by the captain, Madison Hammond.
And it doesn't matter what Ivory does here. She could have guessed to the right. The ball is perfectly placed. And, man, that was a cool celebration.
There's the captain. She's the reason Wake Forest plays the way they do. She has been the captain for 2 years straight. Here she is. She may have put Wake Forest on top and may have gotten the win. But here comes Virginia. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remain. Wake Forest with the lead off a PK by Madison Hammond. Wake Forest has never beaten a #1 team.
It's going to take everything they've got right now. Wake Forest needs to put 11 people behind the ball. It's going to take every ounce of defensive energy here to get out of this game. They are going to have to serve the long ball, Ty. They're going to have to hear me from the booth and serve the long ball.
You see head coach Deleuze having some gulps. He's getting nervous. I feel nervous for him. Up 1-0, 2:40 remains. Wake Forest gets behind the ball, and they'll do their best. What they've done all night is keeping the #1 team from getting it behind the back of the net and past the goalkeeper, Megan Kennedy. A team that averages over 4 goals a game.
And you can feel it, the energy, and there's the home field advantage for Wake Forest.
143 wins here at Spry under Deleuze.
The drums have picked up again. The goosebumps are going, and it's just the intensity is so much. It's just palpable.
It's one of these crazy things about soccer. You have a team that puts up 11 shots. Wake Forest gets 1 opportunity in the box. A misplay ball, go down, a PK, and Wake Forest executes. They lead 1-0. Virginia running out of time, about 1.5 minutes left to go. Chip inside of the box, and Captain Madison Hammond heads it down.
That play by DeMarco right there is probably the key point in finishing this game off, because
Morris quickly gets it in.
Virginia gets a crack at this ball anywhere around the 18, and they could be in trouble.
Virginia. Here's an attack here, right inside the 18. Slips it. Do they get the tie? They do. 1-1. Got inside the box with 1 minute left. And it's Peterson who puts it past Kennedy on the 12th shot of the night with 1 minute left. Wow.
Oh, what a effort by Virginia. And the ball in behind, and just a great touch by Peterson to tuck that away.
It was Anna Sumter that got in the back of the net. Pardon me, it wasn't Peterson. So Sumter gets it past Kennedy, and it's tied 1-1.
Perfectly placed ball, and Sumter just tucks it away with her toe, and this game got even more exciting.
Older Arnestadter wants the through ball, cut out by Virginia. Virginia still thinks that they can win this. There was about 3:30 left to go when Madison Hammond put it in the back of the net. And Virginia, who has a potent offense, finally broke through in the score column to tie it up. That's their 540th goal since 2011. They lead the nation in that department. So Wake Forest, time will stop. They got an injured player. That's Arnestadter holding the back of her head. One last chance in regulation here, as the team's almost destined to go into overtime. Tied 1-1 with 16 seconds left.
Wake Forest is going to, there's 16 seconds, like you said, they're going to have time to serve this ball in and hope that it's just an absolute melee in there and creates a lot of havoc for Virginia because they don't have much time left here. Hammond on the ball again. Can she be the hero serving this ball in?
Let's see if she puts a spin on this, too. 540 goals for Virginia, most since 2011 by any program in the NCAA. Madison Hammond, she puts a spin on it. A header inside the box, exactly how you want it. Ivory smothers it, and that should end regulation. So close Wake Forest was from upsetting #1 Virginia. We're back here, Winston-Salem, Surprise Stadium on the campus of Wake Forest, and why not? Let's have some more soccer. We got more soccer ready to go as regulation wasn't enough. Here's what we saw in the second half as Virginia continued to pepper the goal as Jarrett here tested Kennedy, and Kennedy with a kick save. She's been unreal. Here is the penalty kick as Sophia Rossi goes down. She made a beautiful turn. The captain, Madison Hammond, just puts a blistering shot. Wake Forest tries to defend it with 3.5, and right there, the minute mark, the Charlottesville native, Sumter, slips it by Kennedy and ties it up. And here's our overtime rules, 2 10-minute periods. Sudden victory, so it is the golden goal rule. Whoever scores wins. No re-entry in the first and the second overtime periods if still tied after the second overtime game ends in a tie. Wake Forest was 3 minutes and 30 seconds from upsetting the #1 team in the nation after that PK by Madison Hammond. And then, I know it's tough to do, but they held Virginia, the #1 scoring team in the nation, 89 minutes without getting past the keeper. And then the 89th minute, the Charlottesville native slips it past Kennedy, and it's a third goal on her year so far. But 4 goals, a little over 4 goals per game this year. 18 shots, but actually 19, about 19 shots a game, and they've put up 12 so far. They tied it up with a minute left, and here we are in the first session of overtime. Golden goal wins. Wake Forest has not knocked off a #1 team ever in their history. They were awfully close of doing it tonight. They might still have a chance. Ryan Brown goes down, keeps the ball. Well played by Brown, knocks it off Jarrett, and it'll be a throw-in. Okay. Wake Forest find that seam ball like they did with Sophia Rossi. That's the second overtime, too, for Wake Forest. Remember, the last overtime they played was against a Virginia school, Virginia Commonwealth University. That ended in a tie. 8 days since they played the #1 North Carolina team. And Virginia comes #1, so within 8 days they play the #1 team in the nation. That is a hard task to have. Jarrett.
And Wake Forest doing a good job. Again, it's really tense out there. If you're watching from home, you can feel just the intensity of the game and the nerves. But if they can recreate those passing combinations, Wake Forest might have a chance in this game.
Spanstrom will test Kennedy, and off the mitts and out of bounds. A corner kick. One little spill there. Kennedy has been on point tonight. That one, just maybe the
Oopsie.
condensation of it's getting late. Gets in the glove, and she spilled it. It'll be a corner kick awarded to Virginia, the 5th corner of the night. Torres will take it from the right side. Taryn Torres, the junior from Texas. Whistle blown. Point in the direction for Wake Forest. Kennedy now with 6 saves on the evening. Ivory with 1 save, both with a goal allowed. Ivory allowed in the penalty kick against Madison Hammond. That's her 2nd converted penalty kick. She hit one against Charlotte earlier this year.
Kennedy did a good job coming out on that corner kick. It looks like she clipped her foot serving that ball on the foul. Just limping a little bit here at the back.
Back into the attacking third. Here come the Cavaliers. A skip and a little too far off to the right.
How dangerous is Peterson? I mean, she's been so fun to watch tonight down that left side.
I tried to give her a goal early, but it wasn't her.
I really wonder what she would be like playing up top.
Yeah.
After watching her foot skills tonight and just the way she likes to attack and her energy.
Snyder was allowed some time, still heading the ball back and forth, and now he's sitting at the midfield. Zandy. And Peterson again. Virginia. 6 minutes remain in the first overtime. Over the head, had Jarrett making a run. Was the flag down? The flag was up. Was it? Hard to see from this angle.
Virginia, so sneaky there, though. As Wake Forest was pulling their line out, the forwards were coming out with them, and then a midfielder is cutting through to the back, staying on sides. And it's just a beautiful display of how to run out of the midfield to get into the attack.
Nice cheeky move by McNamara. Basically corralling the ball and playing it to Sophia Rossi, but Virginia back into the attacking third. Jarrett to the right. Lays it off to McClernand. Sophia Rossi just trying to clear it. Peterson, well played. Back into the right outside of the 18. And Schneider just trying to clear it. And here's a shot and off to the right. So shots continue to come from Virginia. 15 shots on the night, 4 for Wake Forest. The 12th shot for Virginia was in the back of the net to tie it up.
Great little flick by McNamara. Let's get a little more on it. She's trying to find Rossi there. You know who's been quiet this half is DeMarco. Hasn't had as many touches as she did in the first half, and I wonder if it's from the foul early on in the game.
Deflected. Kennedy will call off the back line and will take it herself. That was Sydney Zandy, who scored with 26 seconds after Penn State tied it up. Their last match. And then she got the go-ahead goal. Arnestad.
Look at Bedford.
Panthers in the orange, tied now 1-1. And that's in overtime.
Bedford's playing up on the front line right now, so Wake Forest is going to have to transition back to cover.
Jarrett with an option to the right. Spanstra was to her right. She keeps it herself right outside of the 18. And I'm not sure if she scuffed it or if she was trying to play it to that left side. Regardless, Virginia still inside the 18. Bedford wrestling to get it back. This will go out for yet another corner for Virginia. Under 3 minutes remain in the first session of overtime. Wake Forest was just 3 minutes and 30 seconds away for knocking off number 1 Virginia. Tangney comes in. Virginia scores in the 89th minute to tie it up, and here we are in extra soccer. Going near post, headed out by Ryan Brown, and I believe that'll be a throw-in for Virginia. Keep it down here.
Good defensive play by Young again right there. Even Holda's having to come back and help defend here. You see Wake Forest, even their forwards are back. They're looking to win the ball and try to counter here. It's going to take that extra special effort from either one of these teams at this point with less than 2 minutes left in the half, or in the overtime.
First session of overtime just about up. Tangney comes in. Ball stays down here in the attacking third for Virginia. Schneider gets in front of it. Still, Virginia now inside the 18. The ball played. Zandy had a foot on it. McCool there. Tangney cuts that pass out. And Tangney's looking for someone to play. Just kick it out of bounds, a throw in. Quickly, Virginia throw it in. Under a minute to go in the first session of overtime. Bedford trying to play the long ball and the right idea. Bedford wanted to play Arnestadter. And Ryan Brown played deep to McNamara. 35 seconds remain. Can Wake Forest find a Hail Mary play here? Too much for McNamara, goes out of bounds. A throw in for Virginia. What a start to homecoming weekend for Wake Forest tonight. Get a thriller here in Spry, 1-1 into overtime. And this first session goes scoreless, just like we saw for about, what, 77 minutes of the game, right? Or 87, 70. But we still haven't figured out a winner here. We thought Wake Forest was it. Virginia comes and answers, ties it up. We go to extra soccer. And the first session, 1-1 our score. There's Virginia's head coach, Steve Swanson, fresh off a World Cup victory. And a big victory in France. Stepped right off the plane and went straight to his office in Charlottesville to get ready for this year's season. He's won 2 World Cups, assistant coach for the U.S. Women's National Team in 2015 and 2019. Also has an assistant head coach, Lauren Gregg, who was also the first ever female assistant coach, U.S. Women's National Coach, or just U.S. National Coach. So a lot of national flavor there. That's who you want. If you want to go to a team to get that kind of exposure, get someone like Steve Swanson, one of 8 active head coaches with 400+ wins. Remarkable feat by him. And he is wanting this victory tonight, getting the #1 spot this week after North Carolina lost to Arkansas. They moved ahead. He's taken Dartmouth, Stanford, now Virginia to the league titles, or conference titles.
I was lucky during my coaching career to have someone like Steve be a mentor, in addition to having Tony so many recruiting trips and being on the road out there, and just such a class act, and watching his teams play has just been so much fun over the years.
Also coached the World Cup team, so Swanson at the helm again, his 20th season, looking for 119th win in the ACC matches. There's the score summary. 86 minutes, in the 86th minute, Madison Hammond had the penalty kick. The captain put it through. She executed as she usually does. Wake Forest went ahead, but just under like 3 minutes later, Anna Sumter gets her third goal of the season. The Charlottesville native ties it up. And here we are, the second session of overtime here at Spry Stadium. Will there be a winner, or will this end in a tie? We'll find out. Tangney stays in the ball game for head coach to lose.
This is it. 10 minutes. Who wants this game bad enough? Put everything on the line to try to get this win. What an awesome display of ACC soccer tonight. It's perfect setting. Stadium, fans, two incredible teams.
86 minutes of scoreless soccer.
We had to be so patient.
We had to be patient. And we got a PK and then right down to the wire, holding the #1 scoring team all the way to 89 minutes without putting one in the back of the net. Sumter breaks that. The defense that has held the line really well tonight. It's been really impressive.
I think
This Wake Forest team.
a goal is going to happen. It's going to come at this weak side. A weak side ball, switching it, and I think somebody's going to find the back of the net. I don't know which team is going to do it, but that is where the opportunities have been tonight.
There's 8 offside calls on Virginia. Wake Forest has yet to get one. Jarrett cuts into the middle. Tangney doing her best to get around Cavalier defenders. Possession back to the Cavaliers. Torres will play outside to Peterson.
Peterson's so dangerous because she's just so skilled in her passing.
Oh, and look at Hannah Bedford and her competitiveness. She knocked down Spanstra and is just livid with the call.
Yeah, she's saying that she got the ball, you know, and then the player trips over the ball. But
that's a tough angle to see, though.
yeah, I mean, the game's been physical, so I'm sure,
Bedford is so
that just seemed like a soft foul for Bedford. But this is so dangerous right here. Look at that far post high. This gap. Look at Peterson, because she can hit this ball with pace, with her left foot, spin it in.
Or is it Spanstra? It's Spanstra. Curling it. Still inside. I don't know how it kept in.
I'm
Now
just
they say it's out of bounds, but
exhaling, holding our breath there. The ball just never seemed to go out, and you're wondering who's going to get on the end of this, and
oh, it was Torres just over the head.
Couldn't quite head the ball. It's almost like she took her eye off it and ducked her head down. But what an opportunity for Virginia. That could have been the game.
Sumter had a good chance to maybe sneak it past the line judge to keep it in, even though it was a full rotation out. Well played by Youngener. Youngener blocked it, goes out of bounds. Now it's a throw-in. Still in the attacking third. 6 minutes, 40 seconds remain. 1-1 our score. #1, Virginia.
Oh, how about Bedford? She is still mad from that last foul, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to show you what a legitimate tackle is right there. She is fired up. That's what you want from your center back captain. Absolutely a beast back here.
When you see her off the field, though, you wouldn't expect that type of fire on the
Yeah, that
She's
intensity.
just very humble and such a nice individual, and then you get her out here, and boy, she's got some fire behind her. Brooke Smith in, Tangney out.
What a
Hammond.
battle between
Look at Hammond going.
Hammond and
Jarrett.
Jarrett. Those two have a lot of
Spanstra.
respect for each other because they're like, I'm not letting you out of my sight.
Brooke Smith plays the middle, well, is in the middle, an option for Youngner. They move to the left side of the field. 5.5 to go. Off the head of McLernan, excuse me. Ryan Brown with a throw-in. This is what we've seen time and time again. Looking for a quick option on the throw-in. It just seems like the runs are not quite there for Wake Forest.
Yeah, it's a little stale on the throw-in. You know, it's tough to want to play that short pass on the throw-ins.
Youngner will get called for grabbing onto Peterson.
Yeah, you can't blame her for grabbing onto Peterson, right? I mean, she has just been too good tonight to stop her any other way.
Virginia's last match was against Penn State. They put up 2 goals, but it was right at the end, 86 minutes, to win that one. They usually put up about more than 2 goals a game. And here they are just putting up 1 against Wake Forest. Jarrett puts one inside the area. Sumter. DeMarco loses it right outside. Sumter looking for goal number 2 in the game winner. Nothing happening. McNamara can't turn. She'll play her support with Ryan Brown.
Oh, it looked like Sumter was going to get another one. She had the opportunity in the box. Great 1v1 defensive play right there. Lily Schneider just stepping up big for Wake Forest in the box.
Virginia's back line continues to creep up. Past the halfway line, 3.5 to go. Youngner sees Brooke Smith and keep it herself.
Neither of these teams want to end this game in a tie. They are both trying to win this game, but right now, Virginia has the advantage. Oh, that's just a tough foul from behind. And it's just a straight no call.
Watch out. Here comes Bedford. Bedford. They're going to allow her to have some space. She's going to take it. Bedford still with it.
Bodies are flying.
Yeah, bodies are flying, and Bedford's going to have to quickly get back. Spanstra now going to 1v1 against Krug.
Whew.
Lays it off right in the middle. Torres was there, out of bounds.
And Lily Schneider's down.
Oh, tough play. Schneider is in pain, holding her right foot.
Spanstra playing that ball into the box, which that's why Lily Schneider is down on the ground. She had to make a great defensive play there, but
she made a remarkable defensive play there because Torres was right there. The ball was laid off right in the middle of the 18 for someone to just put a rocket past Kennedy.
Yeah, and Schneider had that last play, the same thing, same situation in the box. What, a minute ago, she had to make a 1v1 defensive play. And she's up and total battle.
Schneider is.
Yeah, let's see the foul that we thought. Youngner coming in really hard from behind. I didn't see a lot of shoulder to shoulder there. It looked like, I think it was a legitimate complaint, but maybe I'm being critical.
No, I'd have to agree. It came in hard there. Played the player, not the ball. Correct? Right, Coach. I'm asking you.
There's a lot of player to player.
Not a player to player.
Not a lot of player to ball. Just kidding. Oh, tie.
No.
We're in overtime. We are
in overtime.
The nerves.
2.5. Yeah, 2.5 to go. Tied 1-1. Oh, there you go. Sweet. Ryan Brown with a sweet move. McNamara right down the line. Ball still in play.
It's a good ball. It's a good ball by Brown, and McNamara just doesn't have enough in the tank. Couldn't quite anticipate that ball, but Wake Forest has not been playing that ball that much tonight. You know, but I think if they had done that earlier, the scoring opportunities would have been happening more for Wake Forest, but here comes Virginia on the attack.
So will this end in a tie? Bedford, how does she still have energy?
Boy, she is not going to stop tonight. She's going to carry her team off the field tonight. She's
100 minutes.
So strong.
She's still playing at 100%. All inside the box, headed over and out of dangerous way for Wake Forest. A minute and a half to go. Torres wanted that.
Boy, Peterson just is so smooth with that left foot. She serves the ball in just perfectly every time, always setting up her teammates, putting it basically on a platter.
Kennedy with 7 saves tonight. Arnstarter goes down.
Onestarter's been battling up front for Wake Forest. So many great competitors out there tonight. The girls are trying to leave it all out on the field. Less than a minute, Ty.
Is there one last spark of heroics for Wake Forest? That's why I went behind the wall. Hammond. Oh, they had McNamara with a header. The wave of gold jerseys was there. They made their timing run. Hammond solid. I love the spin again that she puts on the ball. And that might just do it for this match between rivals Virginia and Wake Forest.
Wake Forest has to keep pressure on the ball here in order to kill this game off if they can't get to goal.
The countdown now at 5 seconds. And you can see the exhaustion on all of the players' faces. A well-fought game between both of these clubs, and we still couldn't find a winner. Wake Forest and Virginia ended in a tie 1-1. We thought Wake Forest may have upset the #1 team with a PK with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. So they moved everybody in the back to defend this high, potent, octane offense from Virginia. And with 1 minute remaining, Sumter slips it through, ties it up. We go into overtime, and we end 1-1